Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey. Welcome to another episode of Bad to Business. I am your host, Shining Saffron. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I am waiting on a couple of people to join in. I got a lot of things to talk to y'all about this evening. I got some great news in and about the culture and some not so great news in and about the culture. So definitely want to share some BEP, some Black Entertainment podcasting with you all. It's been a lot going on, but I am blessed to be here with you all and share some good news, some other news. And I hope you all feel the same. Hope you all had a great weekend, did what you could with your families, and get yourself mentally prepared and all those things that the week is going to require of you. So we will get into that. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Bad to Business. I just want to, like I said, kind of talk about some things that's been going on. I've been reading about some things. We all know that day-to-day stuff is a challenge. Life is a challenge right now, and it's shaking some things up. Some of us have already been prepared for it, lived through it, had some different challenges. Some of us are just kind of going through some things and living life as it comes. So both times, I know God is in control, and we got to be able to trust him and know that everything is working for our good. If you love him and you know what he does, you've been challenged before, you made it through, you're here to even hear this. So y'all stay holding on, okay? But let's go ahead and get down to business. Like I said, I got some things I want to share with you all. I've heard about some things in the news. And it really bothers me. Things from the smallest things to what's happening in our everyday community to the things that are happening on a higher level that we don't get to engage in, we don't get to have a say in. And I used to have this saying where it was kind of like, well, if you don't vote, you don't have a voice, right? And that's something that they kind of teach us and try to tell us, that if we don't vote, you didn't get in there, you don't have a voice, you don't have a say so. I used to believe that's true. I'm not against or for voting. That's your own choice. What I do believe in is, as long as you're taking my taxes, I have a say so in what's going on. So I will tell some of y'all, if you're paying taxes lawfully, the right way, make sure that you are able to say something, or you are petitioning, getting some things in there. Like I've said before, know your local officials. It does make a difference when they start when you start disrupting the budgets and the money. We'll say that you start disrupting some peace, if you will, some things that's just going on that shouldn't be going on. So I really want y'all to get out there and understand your rights and do the things that you're supposed to do. So yeah, let's get down to business. So heard some things in the news. There was a young man. This has really just been heavy on my heart. Just young people have been heavy on my heart. I do have two younger daughters, one in junior high school, one in high school. So I do keep up with what's going on with Generation Next, as I'll call them. And I heard about a young man who went to what's called senior skip ditch day, and he was shot and killed. 18-year-old, promising future. He was a senior. Very clean cut young man. I don't know his background, his lifestyle, but as far as I know about him, he had a promising future. He went to senior skip day, as many seniors have done so much in the past, even when I was in school, and he didn't come home. This 18-year-old was shot by a 16-year-old during this time. And first red flag is, what is a 16-year-old doing at senior skip day? That is not your day. You know, did your brother have to bring you because he couldn't come? Because that just wouldn't have been his day either. But he came. He brought a gun. He took a life. Um, and that's just very sad because, like I said, I have daughters. I have one in high school, and we want our kids to be socially grounded, be able to have the fun things out of school, especially when they've worked so hard. But there's been a lot of things I've had to tell my daughter no to. If I can't go with her, she can't really go. If there's not going to be enough security and chaperones, she can't go. Of course, because that's just, as a parent, that's what type of security you want to have. I never want to feel like my daughter is not going to come home. If I ever feel like that, she just can't go. I know God has her covered and all those things, but we're not going to put ourselves in the way of those things. So his name is Justin Etienne. I definitely want to give condolences out to his family. There was a student that said something about she's an old senior, a previous senior, and she said that someone got stabbed on her senior ditch day, and she doesn't even know why they're still having it. Well, why are we still having it if there's no security around? Definitely. I don't feel like we should cut out the senior activities because they've worked so hard to get there and worked so hard to see that there are some rewards for doing that, even academically. She said something about a lot of students find it as an op day, no teachers around. They can't stop me from doing certain things. It's almost like they target this day to do certain things. And I'm just really bothered by that. So make sure you stay involved with your kids, involved with what's going on. I do know, like I said, Senior Ditch Day does exist. We got some seniors, get in their business, find out what's going on with them, what they're doing, so that you don't hear the bad end to this. Again, Justin Etienne and his family, I feel really bad for what's going on. He was on his way. His mom made a statement that said, when you killed my son, you killed a part of me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of parents feel like that. And it's just very disturbing. So not only an end to gun violence, but this young culture violence that they somehow deem as necessary. I don't know where the jealousy comes in. I don't know where it is where we're targeting certain events. I can't take my daughters out, my kids out. I'm afraid of being shot. The irony is, us older folks, when we were coming up younger, we were afraid of getting in altercations and getting in drive-by shootings and stuff. Again, I rep LA all day. But we were in jeopardy of being harassed or something happening by our peers. And now, as we're older, like, I just want to go out and have a good time wherever I can, and especially if I can take my kids too. And now I just feel like I can't do that. I'm afraid. Us older people are afraid of getting shot by the younger kids. We can't just go out and have a good time with our kids, our seniors, our people that are graduating, things like that, because for whatever reason, I still don't know. Still believing God is in control. It's a part of His plan for what needs to happen, what has been written, some things that are going to happen. I always tell people, if you want to know, there's a source, kind of tells you what's going on. So, again, I just want to give a prayer out to that family and continue to watch over your children. In other news, I also heard about these twin brothers. They were found murdered. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and it's really not the bearer of bad news, but I love to be the carrier of truth. It's not about to make anyone feel bad. It's not, bad news is bad news, whatever is going on. But what I am noticing is we got to stay awake and alert. Um, Again, life has its rough edges, but we can smooth them around. So please just do what you can do, and gotta do what you can't. That was the word. So anyway, in the other news, I found out about these twin brothers that were murdered, found in the mountains. The irony behind the whole story is that they were supposed to be traveling. They were brothers of Lawrenceville, Georgia. Let me get this story straight. They were brothers of Lawrenceville, Georgia, twin brothers, graduated last year, promising futures. They were going to go see some friends in Boston. never made it on their flight. They were found in the mountains, murdered and killed, shot in the head, kind of execution style. And it's really crazy. And I kind of get emotional about this stuff because, again, these are kids. They didn't even make it to 21. It's getting the lifespan of our culture, of some cultures, but mainly ours, are getting shorter and shorter. And that's getting scarier and scarier. Don't even want my kids to leave the house, but staying on track. These young men were murdered. Their family are giving statements about how they didn't even know about the area. They don't understand how they were even found in those areas of the mountains. And so some hikers found them. Of course, you have the first responders, the firemen, and everything. And the irony was that there was one volunteer fireman that shared the photos of the crime scene, kind of social media'd it, if you will, put it out there. They were able to trace it back to him. And even the uncle of the brothers, who's been a first responder for over 10 years, said, one thing that we know is that we never take pictures of crime scene and share it. That's just off limits. But the irony is that I read something where they said we don't exactly know how he did it. No, we do know how. He shared it off his phone. That's how we share everything, right? He took a picture of it and he shared it. So it's not about how, it's about why. Why did he do that? And the way that everybody actually found out about it is it was shared on some type of social media somewhere. And it got back to the students of the high school. And the authorities of the high school found out about it, or the local high school found out about it, because the students had to say something. Hey, the students who used to go here, blah, 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 this is what happened to them. And like the family said, it's really scary to know that something like that is being shared on social media, because you don't even want to pick up your phone or pick up anything, go to Facebook, go to any type of social media, for fear that you're going to see your family there sprawled out like that's the news. The news is finding out what's going on and how did it happen, or why did it happen. In further reading of it, I saw somebody who made a comment, and the comment was very disturbing. I won't say who said it, but I just want to bring it up as an awareness. The commenter said that these things were going around like this, and they were being called trophy photos. I'm gonna let that simmer for a second. Trophy photos. What type of trophy? Again, can we please not look at how he did it, but why? Of course, there's still pending investigation. And it was really funny because at first, when they did the preliminary investigation, they ruled it a homicide-suicide. They believed that one brother shot the other, then shot himself initially, until the family said, not going to happen like that. They stuck together. They were inseparable. They loved each other. Never had a heated argument, probably some sibling arguments, but never. They graduated together. They were traveling together. No way that this would happen. So it took the family to say, I need this to be investigated a little bit more before y'all just rule that out. Because they did that, some other things have unveiled, of course. So again, keep fighting for what's right and what's going on. I do again want to give a prayer out to that family. Promising future for these young black men that was just taken from them for no reason, and we need to find out why. Again, that whole trophy photos thing kind of gives me chills. I remember there was some people talking about, are people disappearing, the trafficking, the sex trafficking, the young black ladies disappearing. We're not talking about it. We're not making that mainstream news. And yet and still, you got people who are taking pictures of crime scenes of young black men and sharing it on social media like it is a trophy. So be aware of that. Be alert of that. And stay woke about that. Prayer goes out to those families, though. Sorry to hear about these young men. But again, it makes you scared to even go outside. And I don't want to live like that, but I don't want to die like that either. On the flip side of news, so there's been some good things. I heard about a young man named Jason Arday. Right now, he is the youngest black professor at Cambridge University. Um, I it was his story was remarkable. I really do want to share the things that I read about him. I don't want to just kind of ramble on about it. Let me share exactly what I read. It says Jason Arday, once unable to speak, read, or write until his teens, is now Cambridge University's youngest black professor. Overcoming financial struggles, he has dedicated his life to education, social justice, and uplifting marginalized communities. Um, if he can do it and put his mind to it, anybody can do what they want and put their mind to. I found it remarkable that he wasn't even able to speak English, read, or write until he was about 11, then got all his degrees, and then now became the youngest black professor at Cambridge University. Homage to you. I don't know who was in his life. I haven't really gotten into that, but it just goes to show that even through obstacles like that, not until he was almost in his teens, he was able to um, do some things that we've been given more privileges to do than he has. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you all. Let's see what else is on the roster. I want to share something else. Oh, so this is really cool. I found out about a young black man. When we talk about promising futures, this young black man, or young black king, I'm gonna call him. His name is Darnell Kelly. Darnell Kelly is a high school quarterback headed to Langston Hughes High School in Fairburn, Georgia. Has a promising future, and I want to kind of follow this and see what happens. This young man, I'm a football fan, LA Rams, hardest fan ever. But this young man comes out, he has 27 touchdowns in his sophomore year, 27 touchdowns, 2,900 yards. Um, just doing great. So he's decided to go back to Langston High School. And what I like about this story is that he has so many NIL endorsements as a high school athlete. When the NIL endorsements came out and they fought about it for the college students, it was a great thing because, as we know, we got a lot of publicity at the colleges for the college athletes who do great and amazing things, but they weren't getting the accolades. Other people were getting bonuses. Other people were getting contracts. They were getting school um, endorsements, I'll say, but it was not going to the students. The students were still having trouble, sometimes paying their tuition. But the NIL opened up something for the college students. And when I first heard about that, I was like, that's great. It doesn't just go to the NFL, and it doesn't just go to the coaches. It's going to the students and the athletes that's really putting in hard work. So to hear about this young high school student already having NIL endorsements as a sophomore, as he should, great academics, great, I'm going to call it field presence, as a promising quarterback. Absolutely incredible. Reading about this young man, he's actually um, looking forward to it too. He's starting with a 4-star running back, a 4-star wide receiver. He's sounds like a 5-star quarterback. Again, this will be his senior year going to Langston Hughes. So I want to say kudos to everybody who's uplifted this young man. If you hear about him, you know about him, you're in the Georgia area, please, like I said, pay attention to that. And I'm bringing that up because I feel like that is very important. We don't have YMCAs like we should. The Boys and Girls Clubs have now become obsolete. We don't have anything that really encourages young people to do things like we should. Again, get into your city and local officials about these things. If you're paying taxes, school taxes, we got some new people on the board with Trump, the new elected director of education, McMahon's granddaughter. She may know some stuff. I don't know what she knows, but get to reaching out to her. these are things that we need to see. If you're going to start closing down schools, which is going to be another topic coming up pretty soon, I got to get some more information on that, but you're going to start closing down schools and making things obsolete, getting rid of history, all those things that come into this domino effect of just making things obsolete under one control. Get in there and let them know what our kids need. We can't keep complaining about how they're not being encouraged and not being motivated and not being mentored, and we're not investing in that. One thing they want to see us do is invest in that. You can't just invest your comments. You got to invest your time, make it repetitious. You got to invest your money. You already know money talks, the rest walks. So there's some things that we need to see for our kids upcoming and stuff. So I'm so glad for this young man. Again, his name is Darnell Kelly, going to Langston High School next year. I support you. I can't wait to see the great things that you bring to that high school and the encouragement that you bring to the other students. Langston High School has been to the championship the last 3 years. I can't wait to see them actually win something this year. So got a lot of sentimental connection to Langston High School. So go Panthers. So yeah, just wanted to tell y'all that. So it's been some great things going on, and like I said, I want to continue to touch into Black history as much as possible. We're making history, so as much as they might want to erase it, we can replace it. I'm sorry, I don't want to say replace, but we can add to it. It might be some things that are being diminished, but it's up to us to keep it going. And these young Black innovators are doing great things. There's also another young Black innovator I wanted to talk to you all about. His name is Khalifa Aminu. What I read about this young man was remarkable. I'm sorry, I almost forgot to tell y'all about this, and this is pretty cool. He has created sensory glasses that help blind people walk safely and be a little more independent. 18 years old. He also has created a radio station, a bomb detector, and an automatic spray system for farmers. All of these inventions he has built with his own two hands. No external support, no access to mass production resources. 18 years old. I did not want to forget him, because one of the things they said about him is that he's not only helping to make the world a safer place, but also showing us the incredible power of innovation that comes from necessity and heart. That is one of the things I wanted to pull out. The things that we need to do based on necessity and heart. Keep looking to God and keep praying for where you can apply necessity and heart. Things that need to be done. As one thing I'm learning, again, with these the queen of collaboration, salute, and all these other queens that are mentoring me, helping me, supporting me as I do them. You definitely want to be the change you want to see. So start applying yourself, petition for things, invest in things, do the things that we want to see. You can't just talk about it. While you're just talking about it, they're still taking your money and not doing anything about it. So hopefully this year we'll see some new things. We've already seen some strange things occurring. We're not even in the summertime. We're not even down year one. So I encourage everybody to just start flooding the suggestion box. Let them know what we need, what we want. There are some other things opening up for the cultures. Look into those Black-owned businesses, land, things of those nature. Explore. Don't keep taking the same things that you don't like. And the rest of that you go with God. Again, you do what you can, and He'll do what you can't, right? So, in my closing, I just wanted to share something with you guys. If you've been following me, I've been on this journey where I'm seeking God and looking for His master plan, because I know He got one, and I can't wait to see what He got in store for me being obedient this time, for me following His words and sticking with Him and not just giving up because things didn't look right, didn't feel right. And I went through something this past week. I want to share this with y'all, and I definitely want to get this off my spirit on this fine Sunday, because I want to be ready for next week, going into what could be another challenge, another challenging week. So I wouldn't say this was one of my messages that God wanted to give me on this journey that I'm on with him. It definitely was a point of understanding. And love him for that, because really we can just listen, obey, and he doesn't have to give us understanding, and we shouldn't really look for it. We just know it's all working together for our good, right? But I went through something last week, and I was a little upset about it. I know God knew about it. I was a little more upset that he didn't do anything about it. And when I went to God and I talked to him, like, I have the tendency now to go to my father and be like, you saw that? You saw that happen, right? Because I'm supposed to keep my composure. I'm supposed to let things happen. And I went to God about it, and he said to me, I need you to back up off of that. It's bigger than you. And I said, what? It's bigger than me. Okay. Well, if it's bigger than me, then I need it handled. And one thing that we have to understand, and I'm coming to an understanding of, is it's one thing to be, it's one thing to accept something that we have to accept and go through things that we have to go through. It's one thing to accept it. It's another thing to be okay with it. And I think this is what happened. So last week he said, it's bigger than you. I need you to come up off of it. I accepted what he said. I didn't accept it with the greatest of attitudes. And so, I didn't give it my best attitude when I was going through it. I didn't give it my best. I really didn't. I just kind of had a bad attitude. Okay, and this is how it is, and this is how it's going to be. Okay. But he kept telling me, I need you to stop feeling like that, thinking like that. It's bigger than you. And so as the week came to an end, and I had been pretty much sour all week. I did. I was sour about what was going on. I was more so sour because God told me to chill on it. Do not react. When he says vengeance is mine, he didn't say revenge or avenge is his. He said vengeance. Anything you're feeling anger about and stuff, you need not worry about that. I was angry. And like I said, I think I was more angry that he wanted me to chill on it. And I was like, well, if you want me to chill, this must be my memo that I ain't got to deal with this. No, it wasn't that. When I asked God, okay, I got to chill on it, then let people leave me alone. Let me not be bothered by it. He didn't let that happen. He allowed it to poke at me. He allowed it. I could tell because I kept going to him saying, hey, it's poking at me. And he was like, yeah, I need you to back off. It's bigger than you. So I went through the week kind of sour. By the end of the week, some things were revealed to me. He not only told me it was bigger than me, but he showed me it was bigger than me. I got a chance to see the situation kind of open up a little bit, saw why things had to happen the way they did, even where I was involved. Where I thought things were unfair to me, there were other people in the situation that it was more unfair to them. And to be honest, I was more protected in the situation than anybody. I was more protected in the situation than anybody. And I had to sit back and I realized, and I even shared this with my daughter. And so I want to share this with you all. When God told me to back up off of it, it's bigger than me. He wasn't talking about my situation in which I continued to deal with and found unfair. It's bigger than me, then do something. Well, that's what he was doing. When God was telling me it's bigger than me, he wasn't just saying my situation. He was also telling me he's bigger than me. I'm bigger than you. Shining, I'm bigger than you. I know what's going on. And if you trust me, you love me, know that I'm working everything out for your good. So I got to see that. I got to experience it. And above all, I got a better understanding that when you give it to God and let him have it, regardless of what it looks like, what it feels like, if you love him, you know him, and you trust him, he's working it for your good. It may not look right, it may not feel right, but he's working it for your good. And I felt so good for him to even share that with me. So I just want to leave y'all with that some things are bigger than you. And when they're bigger than you, then you go to the God that's bigger than that. So I just want to close that with you guys and let you guys know that, some of the things you're going through, when you can't figure it out, when it seems like it just don't feel good, when you've talked to God about it, then know that it's bigger than you. So just want to leave y'all with that. Again, my name is Shining. I hope y'all tune into the next episode of Bad to Business. I'll be talking more and look forward to more of this celebration we got going on. It is Aries season. I am an Aries myself. For y'all who, want to celebrate us, encourage us, support us, love us. Be looking out for that. I hope that y'all can join us for this Aries celebration, this Aries season, all this season long, all year long. So look forward to that. I look forward to sharing some things with you. So stick with us. The Crew Podcast, Queen of Collaboration, Miss Angela, 100 Authors Movement. I look forward to doing a whole lot of great things with y'all. So have a good night. I am Shining Saffron. This is Bad to Business. Love y'all. See you on the next episode.